Alright, so this is the first rule under the laws of exponents, summarize several rules for simplifying expressions section of the toolkit entry. And this is if you have x to the a times x to the b, and the simplified version is that you would just add a plus b if you're given the same basis. So this is an example you might want to put in your toolkit. So say I had h squared times h to the 8th power. So this rule is telling me that because they're the same bases, I would just have h to the 10th power, because I would add 2 plus 8 to get 10. Alright, so say I had this problem. Go ahead and pause it and see what you get. You should have gotten a to the 11th power. 6 minus 3 gives you 3, and then 3 plus 8 gives you 11. You're just adding the exponents because you have all of the same base, a, and then you add the exponents. Alright, the next rule. I have a base, x, and it's raised to a power a, and then it's in parentheses, and it's also raised to another power on the outside, b. When this happens, you multiply the two powers together, a times b. Let's look at an example. Alright, the example is x cubed to the 4th power. So it would be x to the 12th power. It would just be 3 times 4. So what do you think you get here? Pause it and then check your work. You should get m to the 10th, 5 times 2. Let's try another example. Say we have 2m to the 5th, all raised to the 3rd power. Well, we have two different factors inside. We have 2 and m. So we have 2 to the 3rd power, and we have m to the 5th to the 3rd power. So m to the 5th raised to the 3rd power would be m to the 15th power. However, we should know what 2 to the 3rd power is. 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. So that gives us 8m to the 15th. That would be the total simplified version of 2m to the 5th to the 3rd power. Alright, see what you get here. You should have gotten 243 times x to the 10th. 3 to the 5th power gives you 243. X squared raised to the 5th power gives you x to the 10th. Alright, we have x to the a divided by x to the b. And when we have this rule, we subtract the exponents. So here's our example. So we have x to the 4th divided by x squared. So 4 minus 2 gives us 2. So we have x squared as our final answer. Go ahead and try this example. You should have gotten x cubed. 6 minus 3 gives you 3. This one is just saying that x to the 0 equals 1. So if you have 2 to the 0 power, it equals 1. If you have 7 or 6 to the 0 power, it equals 1. Anything to the 0 power equals 1. Alright, this rule has two different terms on the inside of the parentheses, x to the a times y to the b, and they're both being raised to the c power. So you would take the x to the a and multiply the a times the c on the outside, and the y to the b and multiply the b times the c on the outside. So we kind of did this earlier. So let's take a look at an example. Alright, so here's our example. We have a to the 3rd times b to the 4th, all raised to the 6th power. So you should get a to the 18th times b to the 24th. I took 3 times the 6 and got 18, and then 4 times the 6 to get the 24. So the example we looked at earlier was kind of like this. We had 4 times c cubed, and that was all raised to the 2nd power. Go ahead and pause the video and try this on your own. You should have gotten 16c to the 6th. 4 squared, or 4 to the second power is 16, and then c cubed times the 2 gives you the 6. 3 times 2 gives you 6. The last rule is a negative exponent rule, and it just says that anytime you have a negative exponent, you just find the reciprocal and it becomes a positive exponent. So let's look at a few examples. Alright, so the first example is x to the negative second power. And we don't like negative exponents. We always want our exponents to be positive. So the reciprocal of x to the negative 2 power is going to be 1 over x squared. And when we do that, it becomes a positive power. So that's how we rewrite the negative exponent as a positive. So then the other way around is we already have a fraction, and so we find the reciprocal of 1 over x to the negative third, and that would be x to the third power. And when we found the reciprocal, it became a positive power. Go ahead and simplify these two by making them positive exponents and then simplifying them as far as you can go. I did the first step for you in green. See if that's the first step you did. So I found the reciprocal of both. And the last step would be then to simplify it further. We know what 6 squared is. That's 36. So that would be 1/36. And the last one is 3 squared. We know what that is. It's 9. So those should be your final answers in blue. That's it for laws of exponents. If you had any trouble or you would like to rewatch the video, please do that.